Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Flying with Mike. We're sitting on the tarmac in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, getting ready to fly for FedEx from Pittsburgh over to Indianapolis. And then hopefully, uh, with everything going on our side, hopefully we'll be able to get up to Milwaukee. At least that's the game plan as we start. We've had a bunch of updates that's gone through the system from X-Plane. My flight factor isn't updating. I don't understand what's going on with that, or if there's another application I'm supposed to use. So, folks, as you come into the chat, I'd love for you, if you do know, help me out there and let me know what I need to do. I've only had this plane about a month, maybe a month or two. So, but anyway, we got to get this flight in for FedEx Express Virtual, or I will be put into the naughty side of the house that hasn't flown in a month. So that's what we're up here and ready to do. So without further ado, let's get on up into the office. Okay, now you can see we're cold and dark. From the outside, you saw the cargo doors. Well, what the heck. You can see the baggage doors or cargo doors on the co-pilot side open with the wrong type of loaders up to them, but still, hey, what the heck, it's loaders. The GPUs hooked up the staircases to the plane, the cargo loaders up, and air conditioning unit, that's this little guy right behind the #1 engine, and the fuel truck. Required items. In order to put the cargo on the plane, got to have all the cargo loaders. So that would be the main one and these two. For the fuel, you have to do this. Now let's show you how you do that. All right, so we're back in the office. So I hope you all, first off, are having a great week. Last night was pretty rough at the airport. Up till about midnight, had a late Allegiant flight. You know, it is what it's going to be when you work at an airport, especially when we had weather. Whatever the heck causes delays out of Florida was their problem. So, we're caught in the middle. Hang on just a second. And the frogs are trying to get into my throat again. So, we'll do the best we can here for you. But anyway, first off, hope you're having a great day there, Sketchy Leo. I got your information on that direct message. And yeah, I have that program for Simulated Air Force. So, and folks, if you want to chat offline as well, lower right hand corner, you're going to see an icon that has a direct link inviting you to the Flying with Mike Discord channel. Part of our community we're trying to build, both the on air stream and the off air once we're done. Once the lights get turned off and the cameras are off, we can continue chatting. So let's pick up where we were. How do we load the airplane? So what we're going to do, a couple of ways to pull the EFB up. One, right there's the EFB. The other, and the one I more prefer, is to come up to the top, get the menu to pop up, go to plugins, down to the bottom to 757, and I go straight to ground. Now on this page, it's going to have the options to what you need. So we got to put, like I said, you got to have the stairs. I put the chocks in. The LSUs, which are the loaders that you saw on the co-pilot side. The GPU, that's going to be used to help power us up. The fuel truck is required. The ACU isn't so much required, but the loader unit is, and if you're going to do any kind of loading. Now, if you're on the passenger side, the stairs or the gate setup, which you see grayed out here, those are required on top of the LSU and the fuel truck. GPU is only required so we can power up and be on power with the ground power unit. Okay, so with that, I'm going to leave this up for a minute. Then let's come over to the ops and go to the airplane. And you can either click open all on the cargo plane and that'll open all of your doors. Yes, there is a baggage slash bulk cargo area on the pilot side. A lot of people don't know that, but there is a door there. And then you got your normal 2 on the co-pilot side. You can also on this page pick your engine. Do you want winglets or not? I've been told, and I don't see FedEx at all, so I can only go by what I've been told. FedEx does not fly with winglets. Again, I've never seen one. 767, so I can't confirm nor deny. I can't even use my fun line. I cannot confirm nor deny, but if I did know, I would have to kill you. That I can't use because I have no clue. All right, so back to the ops page, back to ground. Today's flight, and we're going to bring right now Toolkit up. If I could click the right icon. There we go. Oh, still the wrong icon. We need to go here. And that is perfect. All right, so here comes up Sim Toolkit. All right, now from here, you can see our route. We're right with this plane. We follow pretty much the D line. Then from D line to TV turn to Appleton APE to RINTE and on to the arrival into Indy. Folks, it's only like 200, 300 miles, so it's a quick, short flight. Purposely done so we can try and get up to Milwaukee as well. Okay, so let's get to that loadout sheet. Okay, first thing up here in the weights, we're going to put three bodies in the seats up there in the cockpit and 86,230 pounds behind us and below us. So that'll all add up in the end before we throw fuel on. It's called the zero fuel weight. 276,230 pounds. Yes, we are classified heavy. Fuel for the flight, as you can see, block out will be 29,626 pounds. So there you have the basic loadout and then the basic flight information that we'll use also. Cost index is 98 and we'll be cruising at 30,000. Okay, so with that information armed, here comes the fun part. And I actually have to have a cheat sheet for this because this is not the easiest of easy planes to load. Passenger, yes, all you got to do, put them in. Put the number, say go, and basically it goes. Here, it's not as friendly with the verbiage. Okay, you see how it says pallet number, cargo weight. Okay, these are not the same right now. They don't mean you put, let's just say 5,000 on each car. It's not saying put 5,000 pounds on each pallet. It is what I use to bring us up to the zero fuel weight, which you'll see here. All this is a number of pallets, and they're already preset to 9,800 pounds a pallet. Confused? It took me a long time here, folks. All right, so let me look at one number one more time, and I'm going to get Sim Toolkit pulled off. We're going to look at 86,230, and we're going to divide that by 9,800. That would be what the pallets would be. So we're going to want eight pallets, and then we'll use the cargo value to bring that up. Is that, I hope, making a little more sense? If not, hopefully the doing part will bring it into focus more. Okay, so got rid of Sim Toolkit. So what my calculations are 8 pallets. And now watch. Right now we're at 198,000. Should bring us up pretty close. Let's see, 8, and then you click enter. We're already over 276,400, but we're only over by a couple, but we're going to be putting in some cargo weight. So we go to 7, enter, and it's now a zero fuel weight of 76,600. I'm just for fun going to just try 9,000. Enter. 75,600. So if I put 9,700, there it is. Oh, we're over. Doggone it. 6. Now it's just, I mean, I could have 2, so we need 30 pounds. Okay. 9630. Boom. And there we are. Our weight needed was 200. Where are you? I've got another cheat sheet actually on a computer here. 276230. There we go. Okay, so there's our cargo loaded, folks. Like I said, it's complicated when you look at it and then go, that's not what it should be, but that's what they've done. And the easiest way to find out what the cargo is per pallet, put the number 1 in there, 0 out the cargo weight, click enter on both of them, and it should bring up the 198. I think it is 000. And then 9,800 pounds above that. Okay, let's get the hard part behind us. We're almost done. We have the cargo loaded. Let's optimize the CG. And what it's going to do is just that, optimize it. Looks like it already is. Okay, and then we're going to put our fuel weight in. Fuel weight for the flight is 29,626. Verifying off a couple of other sources I have here, 29. Whoa, that was not what was intended, folks. Let's try that again. 29. 626. Enter. We're going to one last time optimize CG to make sure. Then all we have to do is click load, unload. Plane is loading, and it's loading in real time, folks, especially the fuel. So at this point, we've loaded the plane and got everything optimized. I'm going to go ahead and click the maintenance button to make sure maintenance, any items that may be out are successfully performed, and we're ready to go. Okay, now we're going to just leave all of this for now. We're going to come back and close it up here near the end before we're ready to push back. Okay, so pressing on. So we're going to do a cockpit safety check now. So first thing, of course, let's make sure the parking brake is on. And it is. Battery switch. Well, while we're down here, a couple of things. Let's make sure, I don't know if the throttles will move. Okay, they're idle. Flaps are up, spoilers are up, gears down. Pushing up to the top here. Here's your wiper. It's only one. It's off. And then we're going to pull the guard up, click the battery switch. It's now on. You can see a couple of the emergence or lights are on. Put standby power to auto, which is right next door. And then we're going to put the external power, which is the one that says available. Hang on, let me switch views. Available to on. Now we are almost with the external power on the bus. We got a couple more things to do. With the Boeings, you have to do these. With the Airbus, you don't. So bus ties are coming on. They are at auto. The left and right utility bus. That's these two switches below go to on, and basically you can see they connect the wiring. Now the trickiest part that I had with this plane when I first got it is right here. We want to click the two off buttons. Do not lift the guards and push these two buttons. If you do, might as well close the guards, click maintenance, because you're going to have to do it. It ain't going to do anything. You disconnected the generators. Okay, and then we're going to come up here, close the emergency lights. Now, one thing I do a little different than what our checklist does, I go ahead, get our trim air on, our recircs on, bring up our cabin temperature to auto, make sure these are in auto. These are your cabin temperatures individually. Bring those, wait a minute, where are we at? Forward, mid, aft. Make sure these are in auto, trim, recircs are auto. And then I go ahead, bring up the packs. All right. So let's move on now. So we're going to make sure our lighting is set. We want nav lights, which is our positions, our logo lights, and I'm going to go ahead and turn the wing lights on. Okay, just checking some things, folks. Sorry. Now, we need to left, center, and right our IRS system. First thing, though, I'm going to do is move this over to the heading position. So when these go to align, you'll see it up there, what the time is. There's our checking to make sure it works on the battery. Then it'll say align. There we go. We have 7 minutes. Then take it to nav. One click to align does the battery check. And then we get align. Okay, go to nav. This is last one. Now by going to nav, if say for instance we don't get down there, it'll tell us it's ready to go. Okay, and we still have 7 minutes, and now we're in a line. All three are now showing nav. So we're going to press on with the FMS preparation. So let's get on down to the middle here. I'm wondering how Toolkit will work with this. Hang on. Oh, it looks like it may work fairly decent. Okay, let's give it a shot. Okay, so with Toolkit, you can see our routing right here. It's also for help of you all in case you can't see it in the chat. There's that, and I'm also going to get the METAR latest because my information is about an hour, possibly 2 hours old. Now, as you can see on Toolkit, big thunderstorm line came through. It's this big front draped across the country right now that's pushing south. Probably, as you guys in the south know, won't get into your area. But we're going, thank you. It's pushing through right now here in St. Louis. So But anyway, it's been causing us a lot of rain, a lot of stuff this week. Uh, we're right here, by the way, so it's through. But we had a lot of rain earlier this morning and throughout the week up to this day. All right, so let's get back to the airplane. So we're back to FMC. All the first page is the ident, tells you the aircraft, the engines. The big thing we're looking at is right here, the AirNav, making sure our nav data is up to date, which it's as of June 17th to July 15th. 15 more days to go, folks, till another kind of update. Push this line select to push over to the position initialization. We are at Pittsburgh, so we put KPIT. Now, we're at this coordinate. Now, what I'm going to do is drop to the next page, and the GPS is showing that. Okay, we'll just come back. So, we're close. Take it. And that put us in. Now we're aligning the IRS to this coordinates. Click route. Pittsburgh's down in this, what we call the scratch pad. That's this area below the words here. So all we got to do is click up here. Then our arrival, KIND as in Delta. Flight for today. Now this is a FedEx flight. Now FedEx Express Virtual wants us using call signs, our call sign, not any flights out there. That doesn't mean I can't put that in the flight. So we're actually going to fly FedEx, FDX. Hang on, it's all covered up right now. FedEx 2630 is the real world flight that flew this morning from Pittsburgh into Indianapolis for the afternoon sort. Now, click next page. This is where you put your route in. And as you can see, you got your route. If you're flying this one, you just put D line. Of course, right as I look at it, it goes out. Gotta love it. Hang on, we got a backup. How about that? DILNE. Okay. Next up is, I'm just getting the laptop going again. I thought I moved it, but I guess I hadn't. And we're going to log back in. All right, so we're back up on this flight. TV. Oh, TRN. And yes, folks, I could have saved this through SimBrief and just brought it up that route. Folks, there isn't that many fixes to put in. That's why I don't. Appleton, APE. Finally, our initial for the SID, or star, sorry, my apology. RIN, Tango Echo, activate, execute. Now, one thing I'll do, come over here, click the progress page. It's not going to show yet. Okay, so we'll go ahead and close that out. Okay, so we'll come click next or click route. Takes us right back where we started. Okay. In order to get information to show up on as mileage and all of that, we have to go to the next page. What I'm going to first do is put in our departing runway. And again, looking at the weather 250 at 5. So that is going to make us 28 right. Happens to be the one right out the door here at FedEx. So 28 right. There is no SID per se. Activate route 28 right. Okay, and then I'll do a route copy real quick. I'm not going to save the flight. It's kind of useless. So we're going to go to the next page, which is the perf initialization. 29.6 is loaded now. And if I were to bring this, oh wait, wrong way. We'll leave it on that page. If I were to go up here, one thing I like about the 767 and 57, they put the fuel right below the pumps. So you can tell, do I put zeros? Or, do I have fuel in my center pumps? Or what? Which is a really cool thing. So we got all our fuel, 29.6. So that's in there. Go ahead, just click by that. That'll bring us up to 76. Now, our reserve that I planned for this route works off of this number here. Go to the OFP. Now, under planned fuel, I look at having enough fuel to make my destination, which in this case is about 13,000. I actually have that number here. Bear with me. 13,789. Did I do the right math? Yes, I did. Okay, that's the amount of fuel I need to get to Indianapolis. So, and I need 45 minutes of fuel if that's all I ever did. However, flying instrument, you got to have an alternate. Alternate for today is O'Hare, as you can see on the chart, and how much fuel we need to get there. So what I do, I take just the first two numbers, so ditch those. It's 8.5, 6.2, and I add them up. In this case, I hit the wrong 14.7. Okay, so that's what I'm going to put in as my minimum because I know when I need to have that in order to make my alternate, make my 45 minutes. Now, I'm not going to put in the 29,000 because I know I got to have that fuel to start with. But my reserve, I want to make sure that's what's in there so I can make my alternate. I hope that made sense. So let's go ahead and, for now, pull it away. Okay, so let's get back here. So 14.7. 30,000. And you can just put it in as 300. It'll take it, see? Cost index again. I believe it was 98. Yes, it was. See, this old guy still has a new trick or two to teach. 2,000. And I put that in as my step climb. ICAO is 4,000. RVSM is 2,000. Or you can type those numbers in. I think there's another one out there, but don't quote me. I don't know what it is. All right. So continuing, since we have our fuel loaded, we can go to takeoff. I usually won't go to my takeoff page till I have my fuel. It's useless because until I have all the weight loaded and I'm ready to go, why fill it out? Because you might get, who knows, someone might say, I'm shipping 1,000 pounds of widgets. Okay, well, that's 1,000 pounds of widgets. And that just threw maybe your takeoff data off. All right, so the first thing on the takeoff page, you see it's one of two, so click next page. Let's put the current wind in, which I'm pulling up right now. Okay, current wind is 250 at 6, which matches, oh no, it doesn't. We had an update at 26Z. When was that one? Well, heck, let me show you all so I don't have to read it off my page here. KPIT. And if I could only get things right. There we go. Oh, it's still showing the old data. Okay, well, my ACARS is going to get a little bit better then. Okay, we're looking at 2992. All right, and we're going to go with a wet runway. We're going to go off 28 right. And let's hit the ACARS for takeoff data. Okay, so what they're calling, and what happens now with TopCat, and I can't show this to you, they're not connected in a way that I can show it. TopCat basically has this ACARS system that's like the real guys. They'll get all the information tied into the airplane, then hit a send button to a company that'll take that data, crunch it, send it right back, usually within a minute or two, and it'll get that little printout you're so familiar with. And on this plane, hang on a second, let me see if I can show that off. Let's try going over here. Are you kidding me? It's gonna do this to me again. There we go. It would come out right about here, and then they tear it off, and that's what they use for their takeoff data. Guess I can't have the FMC up and move around. Should be able to. Yeah, there it goes. I say I should be able to. So our wind will be where'd it go? 250 at 6. And I go ahead and type in the 0. Some planes you got to do it, some you don't. I don't know how to put the slope in, so I'm not going to worry about it. And I'm not going to worry about the acceleration height, even though usually I'll go to 1500 feet. We'll leave it, keep it default. Outside air temperature is 21 degrees. Let's make sure we're the same. Oh, I'm not low enough on my strip yet. 21 degrees. Okay, then we go back to the next page. Click the 6. The line select by CG gives you your trim already. Now they're calling us to go with TO1. Hang on a second. This may change. Thrust TO. Okay, ACARS go. Go gadget. Okay. So 46 is what we'll put for our thrust degrees. Flaps 5. And I'm going to go ahead and turn on our reference speeds just to see if they came close. It looks like they did. They're not far off. 134, 141. So what I'm going to do is go with ours. 130, because it is off by about 4 knots. Let's be safe. 143 for takeoff. V rotate. 150 for V2. Now, with their numbers, this should leave us 1,600 feet at the end of the runway. I always like keeping that in mind just to see how close it really is. And that, folks, is the FMC. Okay, that's pretty simple stuff. Now, I do, again, stray from the checklist because what I'm going to do now, they do when we're ready to taxi. So, well, I need that still. What am I doing? I'm going to go and get the MCP partially set up and ready to go. Okay, so for our airspeed, they call V2 plus 10. Okay, runway heading here at Pittsburgh is 281 degrees. We'll round up. 281. I put it in the wrong place. All right, 281. And for now, we're going to take her all the way up. To 30. Okay. And like I said, this is done once we've pushed back and we're doing our before taxis. So that's the only part of that I will do right now. So we'll close that. Then we're back to working our overhead panel. Yaw dampers to on. Engine, electric engine controls, make sure, actually it's electronic. They're in normal. And then you can close the guards. And since I forgot it, let me do that with the battery. You can see how the guards are a little off the color there. Okay, hydraulic pumps. C1, C2 need to be on. Center 1, center 2. Okay, continuing next panel. Re-verify the battery's on. It's in auto. The external power is on. Our bus ties are on. APU, we're not going to turn on at the moment. We'll be back to it real quick. There's nothing we can do with the cockpit voice recorder. LDS guys know there is some stuff you can do. Hang on a second. I'm going to get my panel set up. And I'm just going to roll the other one over here up. Okay, pull it back just a smidge. Okay. All right, so we're back on the overhead panel. Now, let's go back to the top. Let's before we do this, now is a good time to start buttoning the aircraft up. So first thing I'm going to do is remove the LSU and the ACU and the fuel truck since we're fueled. Then I'm going to close everything but the main door. Once we turn the APU on, I'll turn that off. Otherwise, it gets quite warm. All right, where are we at? So, cargo, where are we? Let's look outside. Okay, so you can see what we've done. The cargo loaders are gone. GPU's still here because we're not on APU yet. And all the other doors except for the main one are going. Okay, up to the top again. So we're going to come down. We're going to turn on the cargo heat. Today is the first. What I do with these systems here where you have a 1 and 2 to select, like the 737 for the ignition, I go with the day of the week. The odd day, I put it on a 1. The even day, I put it on a 2. 1 is odd, 2 is even. So we're on 1, coming down. I'm just checking. Our fuel pumps are off at the moment. Lights are off. And by the way, folks, as you look at these two, they are actually off. They're up. They're just not looking like it. Okay, window heat's on. Seatbelts. Even though we have one passenger. No. And then I'll put this on auto 1. Set our altitude for Indy, which is 796 feet. And I'll round up to 800. Okay. Equipment cooling is in auto. Cabin lights we'll put in the middle, chart lights in the middle, and a dome in the middle. Okay, now these we've already done. The forward, mid, and cab are in the auto. Trim air is on. recirculators are both on, left and right. The cabin temperature is set to auto. Packs left and right are in auto. Isolation valves are on. Guard going down center, isolation on. APU bleed is off because the APU is not running. So folks, that wraps up the basically the preliminary and pre-flight checks of the cockpit. All right, so we are now ready to blast off. I'm just gonna get an annoyance out of my eyes right now. I think, wait a minute, I'm gonna do it this way. Hang on. There we go. I just like getting those on map. Okay, before we start the APU, let's look at our comms. Okay. Okay, our comms are turned on. The microphones are on. 122.8. I like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for our guard channel. The actual international guard channel is on nav or COM 2, as well as another Unicom. Just below that, you'll see the transponder. Oh, I'm sorry, it's right up here. Fly too many planes, you get them confused. Then I just turned that, so it just turn it up one, brings it on. Okay, so the comms are set. Let's start up the APU. To do that, obviously we need fuel pumps. And we'll take the APU switch to on, then start. And then we're going to look right here. You can see it spooling up. I'll bring it out so you can see it. And away it goes. Once it's spooled up, then we'll turn the APU gen and then the bleed on the overhead panel. Okay. Almost there, folks. Switch just turned off. And at 100, we're going to be available. And so what we'll do is click the gen, click the bleed valve, and then we're going to turn off external power. Now the flickering you see is us switching the bus from external. Now the aircraft is on internal APU power. All right, so let's see. Oh, one more thing that's irritating, even though we're going to be back on it here in a moment. Oh, I can't turn those off. Okay, I was going to say I want to get rid of those rings. The other thing we need to also make sure is off, or at least in test or in something to that effect, is the radar. Obviously, you can understand why. No more needed to be said there. So we're going to push now, folks, with the APU running to getting pushed back and the engine started. Hang on one second. I'm just going to get my ACARS program up and running for FedEx. It takes just a couple of steps. He says that, and they too want to update. Of course. Just that day for updates. All right. Download. I wonder if I got to do anything. Hopefully it loads. Oh, okay. All right, so we're now on the new version. I like when updaters do that for me. Okay, very simple. Let me go ahead and bring this up so you can see what I mean by very simple. Okay, here's the FedEx Express Virtual ACAR system. This is how we record our flights. Pretty simple stuff. So let's go up here to dispatch. We'll go ahead and dispatch the flight first. Yeah, do one check that I did. There we go. Okay, so we're leaving KPIT to KIND 3 flat plan. I don't know if it's going to take this or not. Oh, it did. Good. And I'll go ahead and do the downlink, and it's not going to do much but fill in some data over here and here. Okay, then I'll come back to the main page and click Start. Huh? Okay. Hang on, now I may have a issue here. All right, hang on. Um, okay. Why do I have to do this again? All right, I'm kind of confused with the company here. All right, let me get over to the company page. Oh boy, they never make things easy for me sometimes. All right, folks, bear with me here a second. We're going through all of this. I'm just going to minimize the flight sim for a second here. And a few other things going. Let's go ahead and kill the ACAR program, obviously. I hate when he does this to me. He always catches me at the wrong time. Okay. Okay, let's give it a try. No, hang on. Let's okay, I'm just getting some things going here. I really hope I can run this with the sim already up. Okay. What I'm going to do here is to be safe till I see it. Okay. All right. Okay, folks, and I again do apologize. I thought I closed that. Okay. I love when it comes back up like that. Okay. Oh, I know why. Never mind. I know what I did wrong there. But anyway, well, folks, let's see if I can figure this one out too. Okay, let's try it again. KPIT, KIND, our flight plan. Downlink. Dummy didn't put his altitude in. Okay. Let's go ahead and start. All right, hang on a second here, folks. Okay, let's try that again. And I do apologize, folks. We were ready to go and whoop, we ran into a little hiccup here. Let's go ahead and start. Hey, there we go. Okay, there we go, folks. All right, so there you go. It was thankfully easy to do on the fly. That's not our flight plan, but you know what? I don't think I can change that in here now. The heck, let's give it a try. I guess not. Oh well, I hate when it does things like that, but that's okay. My guess is if I look over at the main page, somebody changed my route that I put in a couple days ago. Okay, no problem. But we are going to go to here. Perfect. Okay, and I'm on the list there. That's all I want to see. All right, folks, now that the 8 cars program is going, let's proceed in with pushback. Okay, so for pushback, remember we still have, let's take a look outside, the GPU hooked up, stairs. Oh, I thought I got rid of the cargo loader. That's what I get for thinking. All right, so we're back in business here. Going to ground. Loader unit, gone. All right, so APU. Let's make sure everything's on the APU before shutting it down. So we have on the gen and the bleed valve on. Cool, we're ready to go. So that means I can turn off the GPU and the ACU, remove the staircase, and then we'll come over to ops. And let's close that main door. And that, folks, should, when we look outside again, the only thing remaining are the chocks. And you can barely see them. I'll see if I can't get a good angle to zoom in on. You can see them around the nose gear. And the mains are right there. 2 there, and of course on the other side. Okay. So, all doors closed, ground equipment's removed, left and right packs need to, okay, for engine start on this plane, folks, you have to have fuel and you have to have the packs off so that your pressures get up high enough. Okay. Now, we're going to go ahead and call the pushback tug with better pushback. I go to start pushback. If you wanted to do it in the very beginning, you could come in here and click pre-plan and have it all set up. So all you got to do is click start.
Ground to cockpit, please show me where you want to go.
We'll go right here. Okay, and that's all you got to do, folks. We're going to actually put it there. Click it, enter.
Ground to cockpit, tow is driving up.
And we'll wait on the tow. But in the meantime, ground crews are removing the chocks. Okay. Just there he is. Yes, he comes right out of the building. And while he's doing that, I am going to get on VATSIM.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect.
Okay. We are now on VATSIM, as you can tell. And I didn't get a chance. Doesn't look like anybody nearby. And we'll wait on him. That seems kind of loud. There we go. We'll just set that just because it sounded really loud. You can also check in here.
disconnected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Okay, and with that call, well, Luke SK, welcome. Yes, this is one of my favorites too. With the update, if you haven't fired up X-Plane here of late, there is an update out there, by the way, folks, to 11.5. Every time I fire up my flight factor, it says it won't update, and it's because there's not a version for this update, so I don't know if I have to download something or what. Feel free to fill me in, because I'm new to this plane, as y'all know. It's only been about a month or two I've been flying it. But he gave us the call to go to pushback. I'm going to turn my digital engine instruments on since I don't have them here. Now I do, but they'll stay on. Let's get the parking brake off.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
And we're going to wait till we clear a little bit. Again, packs have to be off, folks. Fuel pumps on. Packs are off. Fuel pumps are on. All right, so let's take a look out here. And yes, I turned off the static display aircraft so that we would have a better environment today. So we're going to go ahead and go for start here. So packs are off again, fuel's on. 2 clicks. Actually, it's move your mouse on this one. Then we come down. What we're watching for is the line to pass the magenta line. It's around 20%. There it goes across. Put the fuel on. And she's starting to fire up, folks.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Brakes are on.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Okay, and we're just waiting for the engine. The flickering is the switch from APU Gen to Gen 2 on engine number 2, which is the right one. And as you can see, we are stable. Vibrations right around 1.7, so that looks good. Quantities, pressures, and temperatures look good. Okay, I'm going to go back up here. We'll go ahead and get them disconnecting. And 2 clicks down on the mouse, and we're in ground. Valve open. And we're just waiting for it. There it goes crossing. And fuel valve on.
Disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal will be on the right. We'll see you next time and have a great flight.
Okay, and we'll see the tug. You can kind of see it now going through the co-pilots. There's the Gen 1 coming on. He'll be over here in a second. Big thing we're wanting to see is him with the pin. There he is. And what we can do to say we see him. Okay, that way he knows we saw him. Now we can press on. So we've got the engines running. They're in auto. Okay, so parking brake is set. Tow vehicle's gone. Left and right hydraulic pumps. We're going to turn those on. And the air valves. Anti-ice. We're going to turn it on because of rain. We're also going to get our, hang on, that doesn't look right. Okay, it is right. My bad. Just from the angle, I couldn't tell if that, basically what you're looking for is that it connects the plumbing, connects the wiring, the plumbing. You see what I'm saying, how this is set up for you. We can turn the APU bleed off, the gen off. Now, had you clicked on these before, when you click that gen off, all the electrics go away because your generators did not connect. That's what these ons are. And then we turn off the APU. Feel like I'm missing something. Hang on a second, folks. Okay. I knew those, but I thought there was something else that I was missing. Okay, I guess not. Okay, hopefully I catch it in the taxi then. Okay. Now, the reason we have the warning for the gen off, that means we're in cooldown because we're shutting the APU down. Okay, so auto brakes, go to reject takeoff. Auto brakes are right here, so they go down. We're not turning the taxi lights on. Oh, I remember now. Okay, let me zoom in. Couple of quick click spots here you need to be aware of. Right here, this set screw next to speed, that's your toga. PMDG folks, you might be familiar where they put a hidden toga click spot for you. Same thing on this one. It's right there. The other big one to know about, and I love this one. You see where I'm getting that arrow? It's this set screw upper right hand corner of the pilot's or captain's side set screw on that altimeter. If we had a different altimeter setting, let's just say we had 30000, we could set it, and by clicking where that set screw, it automatically sets it on the co-pilot side. Nice feature. And then we have to set it down here. And we're looking at, let's make sure we don't have an updated METAR. KPIT. 1651 has us at 2992, 280 at 7, broken at 14, so we're still good everything around, all around, and we got a 10-mile visibility, so we got a good, simple takeoff. Relatively. We're on the back edge of thunderstorms. All right. So we don't have to worry about the altimeter through 18,000 until we get over to Indy. We may have to switch it there. Okay, so now that the altimeters are set, we want to make sure the left and right, so we're going to come out so we can see both easier. Okay, I say that and we can't. Let's try this view. Are in the auto position, which is right here and it shows on the top. MCP, we have the speed already set, the heading and the altitude. State trim. Okay, so I'm going to switch to this view to make it, that ain't going to help. I love when I go to something and it doesn't help. And that doesn't help too much. Okay, so I'm going to pull this up to 3.75, knowing I'm going to go the other way on takeoff. Flaps 5, 2 clicks. Yeah, I can move the flap lever with the mouse. I'm going to do it my way because it makes sure it gets into the right spot. Okay, and we're just waiting for it. As we're waiting, we'll come back. EFIS controls. Well, yeah, we're going to need to set those. Okay, flaps are 5. EFIS, that is right here. Okay, we need them set to DH of 200, which we have. Range to 20. And it'll show us 10 in the nav displays. Mode on map, which it is. Terrain and weather off. That's this button and this button on both of them. And the weather radar off. Oh no, to weather. My bad. Altimeter. Is on TA right now. I'm sorry, did I say altimeter? Transponder. Ooh. And then, okay, LNAV may not come on. Oh, they're not coming on. Oh, that's at the runway because I don't have the, that's right. Okay, I'm going to do one check with VATSIM here. Hang on a second. That's not VATSIM. There we go. There I am. Okay, so we are on the map. I do not show ATC, which is good. And we're back up here, folks. All right, so we are ready to taxi. Taxi checklist is complete. All we need to do is kick on some taxi lights and let's get going. And folks, thanks for flying with Mike and putting up with me as we went through that update for the ACARS program. We are showing on the map here in Indy and on the FedEx page as well. So we're good. Let's taxi out, turn the taxi lights on. And we're taxiing out to runway 28 left, or 28 right, my bad. Interesting to have two center lines. Almost looks that way. Huh. Kind of weird. Okay, and while we taxi, since it is such a short one, let's go into the runway hold. Speed brake is off. That's this lever here. Flaps are set to 5. Runway lights will turn the takeoff landing lights on once we get on the runway, as well as the strobes. MCP will be setting here in a moment. Let's go ahead and turn the auto throttle on. LNAV, VNAV, still not getting them. I know why. Never tells me to do this. Let's get those flight directors on. There they are. Okay. All right, folks, we're holding short. Final checks. One more time, transponder will move now to TARA. Okay. All right, let's move into position for takeoff. Pittsburgh Pittsburgh traffic, FedEx 811 Heavy, departing runway 28 right for Indianapolis. And we're going to go ahead and kick the strobes on. We'll go outside the plane here. If they had a tail camera, this is my rendition of what it would look like they do on the 777, 300, a lot of the 200s, some of the 747s out there. I like the camera actually. It's right up in the tail. And it's meant to help them with clearance while they're on the ground taxiing, obviously. Okay. Lined up. One last check. Everything's set here. Okay, takeoff is going to be, we're going to run the engines up to 60 or so %. Basically, when the engine line lines up here, then we're going to go to toga. 15 degrees pitch up. We'll see how well I do that. Okay. And landing gear up at 400 feet or less. Once we verify altitude to 400s when we'll get the gear up. How's that sound? Something doesn't look right here. Hang on. All right, folks, here we go. Landing lights on. Okay, and timer on. Okay, we're reset on that side. The other side should still be going. No, it's not. All right, well, that's cool. Here we go, folks. Once we stabilize, brakes off, toga. Okay, rolling. Airspeed's alive. There's 80 knots, power set. I don't know why it did that. Power was already where it needed to be. Sounds like a steam engine sometimes. Rotate. Positive rate of climb. Gear up. Got our, nope, not yet. Not 1,000 feet yet, folks. We're just passing 900 AGL. There's our 1,000. I'm going to go ahead and kick on the autopilot. Okay. And in we go. Temperatures are 22, so I don't have to worry about ice on the wings, just possibly the droplets into the engines. LNAV, VNAV set and active. All right, let's just be safe. Don't want it coming back at me. There we go. Okay, we are climbing. We'll get flaps coming up to 1. We're up through the top now, folks. Okay, so after takeoff. Okay, so we're going to begin retracting flaps, autopilot's on, landing gears up and off. And we're on our way, folks. Now I want to check one thing over here. Put that up here as well. Okay, so 240. I like when it sets to 240 to the climb. Keeps me below the 250 threshold, so VAs, that may be very strict will say, hey, you're bumping over 250. Technically, in some aircraft, you can go 270 below 10,000, but you have to have prior permission. But we're fine here at 240. That'll keep us out of that threshold. Go. And we are now through 7,000. Flaps coming up. And just so you all know, our projected takeoff weight for this run was 304,856,000 pounds. And I'm going to come down to my EFIS. Bear with me here. I'm going to go out a little. There we go. Terrain. I don't know if I can do both. I hate when it does that. Okay, so the terrain is on the captain side. Weather radar is turned on the co-pilot side. All right, well, we'll see how that goes. But we're through 10,000 now. Landing lights can come off. All right, and let's verify flaps are indeed up. We're pushing for transition. All right, so we're going to go to progress on here. And we're going to go outside. Bear with me a second, folks. Melvin Leroy, how is... Well, Melvin, I'll be totally honest with you. I got 11.5 loaded. Hang on a second. Uh, every time I fire the plane up, it says the update is not compatible or something to that with or the aircraft is not compatible or something to that effect with this update. Click update when it comes up, and again, get the same message. So it seems to be working fine. Don't know. Kind of an interesting dichotomy going on here. Hopefully, we'll be, or dilemma, however we want to look at it. Hopefully, trouble doesn't come our way, which, with flying with Mike, trouble usually comes our way. So we'll find out. But welcome. Glad to see you out there. Meant to get on your stream a couple nights ago, and, well, the way the airport firefighter business goes, it gets busy so quick there, and it's not even airport firefighting. It was public safety. You have to download it? Huh, I'm going to have to figure what's going on here. So, well, we'll be back on. I do promise. I love getting on your stream there, man. Especially in the GA flying, as well as you know, as I like it in Alaska. So, where are we here? 18,000. Okay, we don't have to do anything with transition. So we'll just go ahead and kick off our wing light. And I think I got the right one. I did this time. Usually I'll kick off the strobes. So, but yeah, welcome. Glad to see you. Okay, why aren't you playing nice and nosing over? There it goes. Don't like seeing you down around 227. There we go. Okay, I'll have to figure out why I don't get those messages. That, or maybe they come cryptic to me. Or maybe it's waiting for me out in my email, and since I haven't checked here in a while, would make sense. Make sure it didn't spam me. Oh, I love sometimes going into the spam folder, folks, of email. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 emails here that all say, open me now. All right, so bear with me, folks. I got to go quiet. We'll be right back. All right, folks, she's cleared that call. Yeah, we're still trying to get this headset microphone to where it's trying to suppress her calls out so that you all don't hear it over the stream. It's her dealing with student accounts at the university, and that kind of information doesn't need to be out here, especially if what's in question could possibly be somebody following the stream and listening at the moment, so they don't need to be hearing the good, the bad, the ugly about it. So we go mute until we can figure it out. But I will dig in there, Melvin, and try and figure out how to get that update downloaded. So it came up when my 767 saying there's an update. I click update. That's as far as I go. So I don't know. I'll take some screenshots here and try and figure it out. But right now, we just reached top of climb. And with top of climb comes seatbelt signs. Well, you know, it really doesn't matter in a cargo plane, but you know, we'll follow the checklist in this regard. Off. Oh, it helps to be on the right one. Okay, and that's it, folks, till we hit top of descent, which really is not that far off. Let me quickly look at my FMC. 80 miles. So basically, let's pull the charts up here real quick. Take a quick look at them. Come on, mouse, play nice. There we go. Hang on a second before I bring them up. Let's get on the right airport at least. There's Indy. Okay. And there we go. Real quick, the charting here. Ooh, we went way too far down. So we're at 80 miles. So let's go ahead and turn seatbelt back on real quick. We'll get the FMC set up here real quick for the runway. Okay, we're going to leave it there for a second. That just triggered me on something. Okay, so here's the airport. We're going to be parking in here, folks. Unfortunately, I don't have a better parking layout for here. We're going to kind of aim for right in this area. So we're going to be coming in. Let's get a quick METAR. KMKE. IND. Okay, so weather now switched. I'm glad we didn't put the wind in. Now the winds are 030 at 5. Thunderstorms still in the area. However, the ceiling is up to 2,500 feet, so we're good to go. 2996. So we'll get to show you that short key here in a second as we descend. So with that, we're going to be going to runway 5, or use the 5s. So on our charts page, that means we're coming in this way. 5 right is the one closest. That's what we're going to aim for. So we're going to take this SNKPT2 RNAV arrival. Let's go over here. We're still on the Pittsburgh arrivals. We're not in Pittsburgh, so let's go down to the index. KIND arrive. Now let's look up. There's the one we want. There's our transition. ILS 5 right. Now we have a transition here of Kelly. Let's take a look at the chart. We'll see it here in a second. I'm going to pull that up while we're here. Go. Okay, so you can see from ARNet, we're going to go to Jetter. Well, hell, we'll just read the instructions. So from C-Chuck. Where's C-Chuck? Right here. So to get to that point, it's RNet. Jitter, we got to be above 24. Dot key below 23, and in between 19 and 14,000 at SN KPT. Then Babbing in between 11.5 and 15 to C-Chuck. Then C-Chuck to Lovins to Nady to Knight to Doki, and then final, Spectar Vectors for final off Doki. Then on the ILS, the Kelly is south. Possible, no, we're just going to head for Wayland. That's a 15-mile fix, and then we'll proceed in. Here's our information across the top. We'll have to dial in 1175 for the ILS. Course is going to be 50. Onik, which is right here on the approach course. That's where we got to be at 2,100 feet or on the glide slope. And our decision altitude or decision height, MSL, 947. Airfield again is 796 above sea level. Here's our missed approach instructions. Those of you that may not be able to see it, it's climb to 1,700. Then, while climbing, continue to 3,000 in a left-hand turn. Got to get to 1,700 feet first before you make that left-hand turn. Okay, then we're going to go direct to the Brickyard or VHP VOR and to Katy, and then hold or what ATC tells us to do. Okay. Then finally down below we have our vertical. Wayland was at 5,000, working our way down to 2,100 feet at Oink, on down the line to the runway. We're going to be expecting Pappies on the left-hand side and an ALFSIF 2 lighting array for the approach. Here's the picture, basically diagram of the missed approach. We have to have 947 MSL or 200 feet above ground level and an RVR of 18 or better. All of that we have now. And again, goal, this is where we're going to try to come off at D4, D5, D4, worst case all the way to the end. But we're going to, anywhere in here we can park. Okay, so let's get that plugged in here. So we're not using Kelly. So we're going to execute, do our legs page. Okay, and Cheddar, let's make sure. Okay, Cheddar, Dotkey, Stinkip, Babney, C-Chuck, Lovins, Nady, Knight, Doki. Perfect. Next. Vectors. What the heck? Five right, isn't this? Ah, I pulled the wrong chart up. Okay, so. All right, so vectors to Big Ten. We'll just close out the opening there, and we got to make sure, oops, at 2,100 feet. Okay, so everything matches up now. All right, so we'll execute and get back on the progress page. We're 48 miles out, folks. So VNav or V numbers. Hang on a second. 5 right. We're going to go with a dry runway, flaps 30, packs on, pack on, pack off. Landing data. Okay, so what we're looking for here, folks, is going to be 138 and 143. $139's fine. So we'll go with that number. Okay, we're going to dial in. Let's see, what was our altitude again we needed? $6,000, but we need to be below 23. So we'll set it up for 23. Okay, I'm going to switch this over to progress. Now 38 miles. And that's, folks, kind of down and dirty how you do this. So right now we got the seatbelt signs on. We've got our reference speed set, flaps speed set, and a reference. The auto brake, we're going to go with 3. Up, 2, 3. EFIS panel, we're going to set to the DH on our charts. We're going to come down to 100 on here, 200 on there. And we got to set our frequency. Frequency is 111.15. I'll fine tune it here in just a second. Okay, and our heading of 50. All right, so we got our ILS set up. Our radios are set up. We're just waiting for top of climb. All right, folks, it's been a really short flight. I actually like going a little longer than this, but I'm trying to turn a second one here as well. With my wife's job, keeping them short does help. Now, I'm going to come offline, try to look for that update out there, and then I'll come back on like I did with the Alaskan stuff on Wednesday that we did, and go from there. Now, the other reason being, I heard my wife has a meeting at 2 o'clock. That way, we're not getting put on mute again for that. Hopefully, my goal has been by the end of this week, which I only have one more day, to get this mic squared away with the suppression, limiter, and gate. I'm not making it, so I don't know what I need to do to get it to work right, if I have to get one or what. So we'll keep trying and keep hoping. It's all kind of foreign to me, folks. But then again, so was X-Plane. I knew flight sims, but X-Plane is not like Microsoft in most ways. Plus, I never knew how to stream prior to here. So we'll learn it. It may take longer than my goal of being done by really July, but I gave myself to the end of the week. So we'll try again by next Friday, same goal, see if we can achieve it. We're also trying to bring up interaction here. I'm glad Melvin came in. We appreciate that. I've got to look for the updater on this 767 so that we're not getting that message and not running into problems compatibility-wise with this version of X-Plane versus my version of Flight Factor. I'll figure that out though. That's probably not a hard one. All right, so we are very close to top of descent. According to this FMC, we are 12 miles. We're going to go ahead and see if it'll kick it itself. I don't think I've ever let it do it, so let's see what happens. Worst case scenario, we do a FLCH, which is right here, and it will start the descent for us. Okay, we just crossed RI Night. We are now on the star. But folks, if there's anything out there I'm doing wrong or you would like to see change, by all folks, please tell me. I'm here for you. Yes, I'm having fun as well, but I'm also here for you guys so you all have fun and we can get this all interaction going. So we'll see how things go here. Here comes top of descent. I'm going to go ahead and drop the range down on this side. There we go. And a little bit of higher terrain to the south of the aircraft or the left side. That's southeastern Ohio, folks. It's pretty hilly. It's basically, if you want to call it a front range, but it's the leading hills to the Appalachia. Appalachia, however you say it. I'd say foothills, but you know, it really is. I mean, they are. Okay, so here we come over top of descent. And we are descending. What I'm going to do is go ahead and pull my throttles back. Okay, and in the descent. Again, our EFIS panel is now set. Excuse me. Frequency and the heading. Let's get down there and set that. It is set. And the initial descent is started. At 18,000, we'll do the transition, and that's where we'll show you how we can get this real easily set up. It's not hard anyway, but when you're one pilot, it is kind of complicated. But we're through 28,000, folks, so we're on our descent. And I see that I left the charts up. There we go. Wow, my laptop seems to be pretty close to the stream today. That's really nice. Wish it was just in a better place where I could see things like that. That's okay. All right, folks. We are through 27,000, descending to 23 by, what was that fix again? By dot key, we just have to be at or below. Here's dot key on the descent. All right, folks, so there's goes 25. And if there's anything you'd like to chat about, by all means, folks, bring it up. I'd love to hear what you've got to say, see where we go with that. Also, if you've liked what you're seeing with the flight factor, actually you haven't seen much of the exterior. Let's bring it up. Folks, if you're liking the stream, hey, by all means, click follow. We'd love to have you aboard. Join our community. We're slowly bringing up. Discord is our offline community. Lower right-hand corner will show that for you. And we'd love to have you join us. Got a couple of stream goals we're shooting for. The big one being, one, getting this microphone to where what my wife's doing in her work doesn't come across the mic here onto my recordings and live streams. I got a feeling that's going to take time and probably the purchase of an external mic. We'll see. Other goals are trying to get our viewer uh, uh, averages up. Right now, I see we're at 3, which is awesome, but we're trying to get that up even higher to really get you guys going here. It makes, sitting here, especially coming off, I really debated, do I go on live or wait? Because I was up really late last night because of work. And, but I decided no, I've set 1600 as the try to be start time now. So that's what I did today, folks. Right at 1600. I think we just leveled off. We sure did. Okay, let's see where we are at Dotkeep. But anyway, that's, I am running on my batteries are really low this morning. So, but I needed to get this flight in for FedEx. It's been a while since it seemed I didn't realize it, that I hadn't flown with them. So I had to get this in. They're a great airline to be with, folks. So if you're interested in looking for a good cargo airline, they are good. Good management, good people, good Discord, very active Discord channel, as well as airline. I think somebody told me they're up to close to 200 pilots. So well-run organization. You all saw the ACARS program. Very simple program to use. Unless it catches you off guard on a stream that they had updated it. Now thinking back, yeah, they told me, they told us. I've just kind of shoveled it under the carpet and forgot. So shame on me. Okay, 5 miles, and then we are going to descend to below 19, above 14,000. Gives you a better view of what the nav display looks like. It's kind of rough to see. Let me try something. Oh, that'll work. Two miles to go. And we're going to go ahead and dial it in. We'll dial in 14. Okay, and there we go, starting down. After this, we're going to want 11.5. So, and then down to 10. So we're getting there, folks. Okay, so in this we will be going through the transition level. 18,000, as we all know in the US. If you don't, yeah, that's where we change the altimeters to 2992. So that way everybody's on the barometric pressure for the area instead of possibly, all over the conglomerate. So let's see here. All right, so there we go. We are now setting for 11.5. Okay, and then 10,000, I believe, at Lions, I think is the name of it. Lovins. I was close. Couldn't really read it. Yeah, now it makes sense here. And let's dial this more to our course. There we go. Okay, and it was just asking us for drag. Okay, so we just crossed transition. Let me scoot in here. All right, so we need to set up for 2996. Okay, so we have 2996. This one we'll have to set as well. Oh, went too far. Now, remember I told you it's this set screw right here. Click on it, and then you're not going to see it that easily. 2996. Really a nice tool. Okay, coming into the clouds again here over Indy. There's 14, so we're within the range for the next one. It's at or above 10,000 at Lovins. And we got to be at, I'm sorry, I misread that. It's 11,000, 10,000. Lovins at 250. And of course at 10,000 we're going to kick the lights on. Okay, and our outside air temperature is 14 degrees. So really we shouldn't have any trouble in the clouds, but we do have the engine anti-ice on. All right, folks, here shortly we'll be coming into one of FedEx's hubs, the Indianapolis International Airport. Again, we'll be parking off of 5 right for any of you trying to join us. We really hope to see you all here. Okay, coming up on 10th. Oh, what are we coming up on? Okay, 10,000. And then we'll descend, let's see how the chart looks. To 10,000 to 7 to 6, okay. Still got 7 miles to Lovins, so we'll let it level off and let it grab the speed correctly. Okay, let's just get her slowed down. Get our numbers lined up again. Okay. Lovins is in 3 miles. So that means we'll set for 7,000. Okay, and pretty much you can tell we are going to go shoot. I always shoot the ILS. Once I have the runway made and the aircraft stable, then I'll take over. Okay, let me get those speed brakes off. And there's Lovins. Let's make sure no other speed restrictions. 210 at night. And that's where we'll head for 6,000. So folks, we are on approach into Indianapolis. Hope you've enjoyed the run. It's been a short one. It's 220 miles. And in a 767, it literally is whoop and down. Same with going up to Milwaukee. Okay. Okay, so night is where we need to be at 6,020 or 210. Okay, coming up on Nadine, which will be our 7,000 foot or higher. All right, let's clear the FMC one more time. Because we're slowing to 220. Okay, now we're starting to get into flap speed. That doesn't mean we have to put them out. It just means we're now at a point in the flight where we can. So, but we're going to hold. Let's come down to 6,000 first. Okay, so it's going to start down. Okay, and let's zoom up here. Okay, and again, adjusting the heading. As we make the turn, leveled off. Ooh, we did not level off. Okay, there's There's 6,000. Now, let's take a look at the arriving ILS. Okay, and we're going to be tracking out to a point where we can turn in and descend at the same time to 3. Okay. All right. Okay, here comes Docky. All right, folks, we are over Docky. And what I'm going to do is descend to 4,000. And at some point in this descent, we're going to turn for the ILS. Okay, and altitude right now, coming up on 4,000. Again. Okay, we're at our speed. I'm going to go ahead and make our turn. Here we go, folks. Flaps going to our first notch. Okay, Big Ten needs us at 3,000. But we're below the, we're below the ILS. We're dialed in. I'm going to go ahead as we wings level, then turn us again. Here we go. And here's our intercept. Localizer's armed. Actually, we can go full approach armed. And let's go ahead and pull back to 180. Okay, so we're going to intercept here. We'll keep this up while we go into it. Oh, we need the other one too. So until these start turning green, we're still armed. For the meantime, let's drop us 1. Terrain's not a factor, nor the weather. We are now active, folks. Let's go flaps 5. Okay, localizer, we're on. So let's make sure we are set, and we are. Missed approach set. We got to hold 4,000 until we're on the glide slope, which is about to happen. We're going to go flaps 10. Okay, we are final approach. Indianapolis traffic, FedEx 811 heavy, fully established on runway 5 right, ILS approach. Okay, and she went through, but she's making up for the time. We're going to go ahead and help, slow to 160. Get another layer of flaps. Okay, did it just tell me I'm full? Huh. Three green, good. Flaps are full for some reason. I'm not really sure why. Let's go ahead and arm the speed brakes. All you got to do is click the speed brake lever. We're going to set 145. Let's look out the airplane. There's the runway, so we're going to let it come in a little more. Comes 1,000. We are stable. Missed approach altitude 3,000. Okay. All right, I'm going to take over. Oh, hang on a second. I just realized. There we go. Wow. How'd that turn on? Damn it. Sorry about that, folks.
Minimums 50.
Wide slope. Wide slope.
40.
Wide slope. Wide slope. Wide slope. Wide slope.
30. 20. 10.
All right, well, that was a crappy approach. Okay, well, folks, that was a really. I'll take 343 out of it, but I can't see it. But anyway, we're in the ground here. That's a good way to put it. In the ground. We're here. Man, wonder if that's partly what they're saying. Let me go ahead and set up here. After landing, we need to disengage. Auto throttles disengage. Left and right flight directors off. Auto brake off. Speed brake down. Flaps up. Okay, let's get the after. Okay. Now, why are my aircraft here? Okay, I'm gonna just make the turn here. Oh, I missed. Wow, there are way too many lines here. Okay, well, let's bring her back over to the taxiway, shall we? Excuse me. Somehow this does not look like the Indianapolis that I know. Oh well. Okay, so taxing in, APU gens available. Get the bleed on here in the spot. Okay, coming into the stand right here. Oh, wow. Yeah, this isn't right at all. I mean, I know what they're trying to do, but yeah, this isn't right. You would basically go about where I'm at right now, and that grass is not there. If it is, then this ramp needs to go south more. Okay, landing lights are coming, or taxi lights off. Yeah, this is the where the aircraft get behind. Make sure that so that way wingtips clear. Not taxi. Okay, parking brake is set. All right, so let's go ahead, get the APU gen on the bus. Let's make sure we're doing it in the right order. Gen first. Then the the bleed. Anti-ice can go off. I'll go ahead and turn the wing light off. Taxi lights, runway lights, flaps are up, transponder. We'll make sure. That was neat. I just saw the flag waving in the air. That was pretty cool. Standby. Parking brake is on. Engine selectors. Off. Fuel control cutoff. And that, folks, is these guys. One at a time. APU gen has it. Coming off. Okay. And then basically fuel pumps. Hydraulics. Okay, external lights. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and turn the window heat off. Yaw dampers. And the IRSs. All right, so folks, we are in the gates. Next thing we're going to do is hop out the plane. Kind of scoot in a little. And pull up the EFB. Okay, we need the left door opened. Let's get the stairs and the chocks in. GPU is coming online. Get these guys out there. Okay, so now let's go back to the plane. That one door I talked about back in the back, there it is, the bulk door. And then in the front, the main door. Okay, and then we come back on the ops page to ground and unload. Fortunately, it doesn't show anything, but it is kind of cool. All right, folks, we are in the airport here. We want to thank you for flying with us today. It's been a fun time, learning time. The landing really is not going to look good when we do the replay and really embarrass me. But no, I did not crash yet, sketchy Leo, but appreciate the vote of confidence there. We actually landed at 343 feet per minute, just like Allegiant does at Mid-America, halfway down the runway. All right, so let me just hit that cancel button. So folks, let me turn some things off here. We'll disconnect from VATSIM. We'll get credit for our flight, hopefully. I'll just put FDX 811, I guess there. I don't know what goes in there. I don't want to put any remarks in. They got us at 401. Okay, and takes, I need to close that out. Give me 1 second here since it is new. Okay, it did get accepted automatically. Perfect. All right, folks. Want to thank, looks like we have Melvin Leroy still around there in the chat room. We appreciate you for following us in. We're going to roll the aircraft. Let me rephrase that. There we go. We're going to take it back to the beginning of the approach here on for the runway and take a look at how professionally I did the landing. We'll say it that way. Actually, I'm going to go ahead. Okay, just in case. All right, so here we go back, folks. And we couldn't do this without any decent music. Gonna watch that left wing dip a couple times. Very sensitive on the flight stick I have here. Whoa. Felt like a bucking bronco down. Yeah, pretty much bucking bronco. All right, let's roll it back. Take a look from the other side of the aircraft. Boy. Yeah, I'm gonna try something. We'll get the joysticks all configured here. One more time. Whoop, here we go. That's when the autopilot came off. Okay, well, still saw the issues that I was having. Alright, we're gonna go one more time. See how the tower view works out of here. As Mr. Leroy likes to say, it always shows a perfect landing every time. We'll see how this looks, how much runway I really ate. Holy mackerel. Wow, that's a lot of runway. Okay, crappy approach. All right, folks. Well, we knew that from the get-go. Wow, ate up that whole runway. Oh, jeez. All right, well, that's the end, folks. We're going to go ahead and sign off right now. We'll be back here shortly once we get the update in and get some things ironed out. Y'all have a great day. We thank you for flying with Mike. If you like the stream, by all means, we'd love to have you follow us along. But for now, we're going to sign off for possibly the day, but for sure, my goal is to come back. Do another run, short run up to Milwaukee. So for now, God bless and have a great day. Thanks for flying with Mike.